Hello everybody and welcome once again to Casual Gamer Oz as we continue our F1 2017 career mode in our very first season with Toro Rosso driver Ben Waterworth. My name is Ben Waterworth and I'm your host, and we are now into round 6 in Monaco, Monte Carlo, and a race that you know I'm probably going to end up in the wall, but we're still going to be here to entertain you as best we can. What happened in Spain, I hear you asked in the last round. Qualified 8th, was pretty satisfied with that, and got a pretty decent start off the line. Had a bit of a battle going forward with Sergio Perez, made a great move on him before losing the back end of my car. I spun out, and sadly that was last place for me in the Spanish Grand Prix. So, we've only had 1 points finish so far this season. That, of course, was back in China. We finished 4 out of 5 Grand Prix, so that's something. But given my track record here in Monte Carlo, basically in the 2 F1 2016 career races that I did, qualified in both of them at 22nd, and yeah, DNF in both of them. You generally know how this is going to go, but let's give this a crack as we line her up and what's going on here? Why are we not in the race? That was a bit of a cock tease. Okay, fair enough. We are into it, and it's very dark here in Monaco. I know they've got night mode, they've got night races available in Monaco this time around, but I didn't realise qualifying took place at night in the real world of F1 2017. Fair enough. Here we are anyway. It looks pretty spectacular. I've heard that it looks spectacular, and here's our first taste of it. As I am not off to the best of starts, already dead last. Expected to qualify at least 14th here, and very much looking likely that I'm nowhere near it. Car does feel a little bit easier to drive around here in Monaco, but of course remember, with wider cars in 2017, those barriers are ever so closer. As I completely stuffed that one up coming out of the tunnel, somehow managed to hold on to it there best as I can, and you know this is a slow part of the circuit for me at least, as I do my very best not to barrier. I just tiptoe around Monaco. Again, this is why we are Casual Gamer Oz, folks. We casually suck big time, as we're going to come across the line here and be absolutely miles off the pace. Over 5 seconds it looks like. Make that 6 seconds off the pace. I'm not sure if you can hear Jeffrey there. Excuse me. And we will start dead last on the grid for the first time since Australia. But let's be honest, that was to be expected. Let's see what we can do come race day here at Monaco and Monte Carlo. Can we finish our very first ever Monaco Grand Prix? Let's find out now. And I don't know if we've got any development points that we can use. The things I'm finding with this development, I'm obviously only, 6 rounds into this. But I feel as though it's a lot harder to be able to actually spend your points. I would have assumed that some of these, given you got like hundreds and hundreds of upgrades, that, you'd have ones where you could get some for a very small amount of points, but it seems to me is that that's not really the case. I did actually put a few on there, I think, on the car the end of the last session, which you wouldn't have seen me recording. Now, I'm still 4 behind sign, so it's a lot tighter. Reputation, oh, even Sauber don't want us. Look at that. I suppose when you're 6 seconds off the pace in Monaco, your former team probably forgets about you. That reputation's dropped off quite significantly. Alrighty, let's go into Monaco, and let's hope our, our expectations are a little bit lower, so that we can just aim to finish the Grand Prix would be nice. And for the very first time, finish the Monaco Grand Prix. I just want to watch the introduction here in Monaco. I feel it's one that you should pay a little bit of attention to. It just looks so amazing. I just can't get over just how awesome that is to have that proper introduction. As such an F1 fan, to make it really feel like you're watching a broadcast. And as I've said previously, it'd be great to get some commentary perhaps in the future. Have Crofty and Martin Brundle actually commentating the race. That would be amazing. As that map looks amazing. And of course, in putting these videos up, where it's Belgian Grand Prix weekend at the moment, so we catch up to Belgium, we'll be ahead of what actually is happening in the real world of Formula 1. Obviously an iconic track in Monte Carlo. Such an iconic track. The hardest on the calendar by far. And definitely the dream Grand Prix for me to eventually go there one day, as I'm sure it is for most of you if you're F1 fans. The jewel in the Formula 1 crown. The one DRS zone there, obviously, along the straight. And here we go. The grid. Alrighty, let's see what it is lining up. I saw Vettel did get pole. So will Hamilton and Bottas be third and fourth, as they have been in every single race so far this season? The answer to that question, of course, Ben, is yes. So Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, status quo. Grosjean in 7th, Massa in 8th, Perez in 9th, Hulkenberg up into 10th, Magnussen 11th, Ocon in 12th, Sainz, my teammate, up there in 13th place. He was only 1.9 seconds off the pace. Alonso, Stroll, Palmer, Van Dorn, Verline, Ericsson, Waterworth, me. Of course, Alonso didn't race in this Grand Prix. Button did. He was off in the Indy 500. So, again, nice bit of realism there if Codemasters could do it, but obviously it'd be a little bit of a hassle to do that. So where do they expect me to finish? 16th. Wow, you're demanding, Toro Rosso. Alrighty, let's give it a crack. I should have given myself a new power unit. Have that one up my sleeve for later on in the season. Bugger, didn't think about that one. Let's tiptoe around here into the first turn as we go up the hill, and tiptoed enough that I haven't even gained a place. You can really tell the width of the cars following them behind them here in Monaco. Look at those. Don't they look absolutely beautiful? They really, really do shine here in Monte Carlo. As I'm going to try and shove one up the inside. I have a couple there. Damage a slight bit of my wing as we head into the hairpin. And I think this is where I ended my race in the second season on F1 2016. Managed to get that. We've got 2. I've probably taken poor Fernando out of the race, but let's be honest, you weren't actually meant to be here, Fernando. So we come through the tunnel. I don't actually think I've... no, I did last a lap in my first career mode in F1. That was when I put myself in the wall, because I pitted, that's right. And we won't spin ourselves out there coming out of the tunnel. I've done that before. And I've got a feisty Verline behind me in my former team. And, yeah, you can really feel the car struggling to steer through those corners with the damaged front wing. And if my expectations were lower than 16th, I would be very tempted to pit right now. They're expecting me to pit with the damage, but I'm just going to continue here because, again, a 5-lap race, there's no point in pitting. You're going to end up dead last anyway, so you may as well just limp around, hope there's a mistake in front of you, and unless you do the mistake. 3 times Monaco, if you've witnessed, and 3 times I have DNF'd, and this was just a case of the car just having terrible understeer with the front wing damage and just outbraking myself. There's no other excuse besides that, and just clip the wall, and oh, that marshal's very prompt, isn't he? Well, there's a McLaren in the pit. Shall we ride on board with Verline here and see what he saw? I think that will be an interesting little view here. Let's ride on board in real time here. He's following behind me, and clips there, you just see it, and he's going to slide up through there and probably get himself a puncture. Well, that's our Monaco Grand Prix, folks. We'll have a bit of a gander at the start, even though there really wasn't anything that I did at the start, I feel, to warrant a replay, as I skulk off. Disappointing. There's a lot of blurry pits there on the racing, so that's a bit of a poor rendering there, Codemasters. We're going to just take a bit of a look. Yeah, okay, retirement we know. I'd like to skip past that now, please. Let's have a look. What's with these weird screens? And Raikkonen looks like he's won that one. No, Vettel won it. Okay. So I'll just take a look at the start line here and see, again, nothing really to witness here, as I just basically got a standard start. Didn't really overtake anyone coming into turn 1, but I just want to look at the majestic scenery that is this graphics on this game, just not on the race suits, apparently. We'll take a look at our overtaking moves, because I think that was at least something unique that we did. Struggling behind Verline. As just look at the cars just battling around there, just looking fantastic. And I make a few moves here, and Alonso dropped way back. He qualified about 16th, did he not? So he got a terrible start. Now watch me at the top of the screen, because I'm going to be like, stuff you guys, I'm coming around, and I'm going to clip just the inside of the hairpin, and then I'm going to get stuck into Fernando and bang him into the wall. Sorry, Fernando. My bad. Alright. That's Monaco. So Vettel wins, Raikkonen, Ferrari 1-2, as it was in real life. Hamilton third, Bottas, Ricciardo, Verstappen, Grosjean, Massa, Magnussen, and Perez get some points there. The championship battle dropped down even further to 12th. Not good. Raikkonen, though, leads this championship by 16 points over his teammate Vettel. Hamilton, Bottas down in 4th. Ricciardo moves up into 5th over his teammate Verstappen. Massa 7th. Perez 8th. Romain Grosjean, I was going to say Rocon. That was not a real person. Ocon, that's who I'm trying to say. 10th. Hulkenberg. They're in 11th, and I'm down into 12th place. The constructors, Toro Rosso still we're in 6th, but we're equal points now with Haas. We're going to have to get something in Canada. Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, Williams, Force India, Haas up to 7th, Renault, McLaren, and Sauber yet to score. That is Monaco. That is Monte Carlo. For the third consecutive time on Casual Gamer Oz, I have crashed out of the Monaco Grand Prix, but as usually is the case, then that's usually what happens. But we're off to Montreal next, which is in Monte Carlo, a race that I love. So hopefully we can put that results onto the track. In the meantime, remember to subscribe, like, comment, everything else in between here on Casual Gamer Oz. We thank you for your company, and we'll speak to you in Montreal. Good night.